poised to lay claim as the greatest football team ever.
Yeah, pretty much.
Man, I hope the Giants win.
If you're already a dynasty, what comes after that?
The Patriots take on the Giants. Patriots-Giants next Saturday at 8 on NFL Network.
I'm Wade Phillips, and you're watching NFL Network.
Welcome to the Wendy's Halftime Show. Burgers always made to order, so they're hot and juicy. Wendy's, that's right.
Welcome to the Wendy's Halftime Show. Halftime of the Cowboys and Carolina Panthers. Tony Romo, his injured thumb looking no worse. The wear finds Terrell Owens at the end of the first quarter to put him up 7-0. Then this Terrell Owens reception was his last one seemingly for the night. John Beeson takes Owens down. He comes up grimacing on the left lower leg. More on that in a moment. Marion Barber, next play after the Owens reception, takes it in the end zone, 14-0. Matt Moore got it close as he finds Steve Smith, a nice little toe tap routine in the end zone to make it 14-7. But Terrell Owens, you can see hopping up on the training table for an x-ray. We don't know what the status of that x-ray is just yet, but the status of this game right now is a 10-point lead for the Dallas Cowboys at the half. If the Panthers lose this game, they're eliminated from playoff contention. The Cowboys need to win this to stay on top of the Green Bay Packers, at least in the standings. Adam Schefter, what can you tell us about Terrell Owens?
Rich, the Dallas Cowboys are saying it's a left ankle injury, but I have it from two sources that it's his shin and his Achilles, because those two sources are my left and right eyes. I was standing next to T.O. on the bench. He was rubbing his shin, he was rubbing his Achilles, and he was shouting out expletives. He was not happy. He came to the locker room, he took off his shoes, he went into the x-ray room. He's now back in there. This is a team that cannot afford any more injuries. Tony Romo has the thumb injury. Andre Gerard, the Pro Bowl center, already out with a knee injury. Terry Glenn, though, back at practice last week.
All right, Adam, we appreciate that. Deion Sanders, Marshall Falk, and Steve Mariucci joining us. Deion, what are your thoughts when you saw Terrell Owens limping around? What could you tell, if anything?
You know, I really didn't tell anything. I thought he really just hurt himself toward the left extremity of his leg. But it reminded me back in Philadelphia when that happened to him towards the end of the season. It's a severe blow for the Dallas Cowboys. Yes, they have formidable receivers. Yes, they have Jason Witt. But these other receivers, Crayton and Austin, will have to come up strong.
He had a similar reaction, but I guess it's the other leg that he hurt. It's not the one with the horse collar from last year. But they're going to need him down the stretch, and in this game, Marion Barber going to play a bigger role.
In this game, you look for them to go to the run. I mean, the injury to T.O., they can't afford to lose him. But if they did, we saw in this second half without him, he was in the second quarter without him. Those guys stepped it up. Tony Romo has just as much confidence throwing the ball to those guys as he does Terrell Owens.
21 of 32 for 188 yards and a touchdown, is 36 of the season. That's already at the half. We are at the half here in Charlotte. The Cowboys lead by 10. A chat with Bill Belichick when we come back.
Rated mature.
Heartburn changes everything. Fortunately, so can Maximum Strength Zantac 150. Just one pill makes the suffering stop, so life can start. Heartburn? Attack it. Zantac.
There'll come a day when you'll wonder. You'll think back to how you used to listen. Before you heard your music, your sports, your talk, all from the same place. And you'll wonder how you ever got along without it. Sirius. Everything else falls short. Over 130 channels. Only one place to get it all. Sirius Satellite Radio.
Their day begins like yours. Quick breakfast, drive down to work. Another day on the job.
Good morning, Jerry.
Good morning, ma'am.
But after all the pleasantries, we talk about the weekend. From that point on, it's all business.
welcome back to the Wendy's halftime show. The Cowboys are leading the Panthers by 10 at the half. 1 week from tonight, we will all be in Giant Stadium, perhaps for a historic night in the National Football League. As we know, the Patriots are 14-0 and take on the 1-13 Dolphins on Sunday. Mike Mayock chatted with Bill Belichick. Give a listen.
You know, you come into this locker room, and you and your coaches are probably beating on everybody, but when they leave the locker room, all they hear about is, are they the greatest team of all time? You know, every day they get smacked in the face by all of us in the media and all the, you know, you haven't won a Super Bowl yet. How difficult is that for you to deal with?
Well, I'm sure the players get a lot of that. I'm sure they do. They get a lot of that. And in all honesty, Mike, I try to balance that out. I think that my voice maybe gets outweighed by some of the other ones on the outside, but I do my best to try to, you know, just to point out, not really in a critical way, but just to point out all the things that we need to work on and need to improve on, and start with myself, that we can do a better job of coaching, that we can do a better job of matching up with our opponents on, and certainly on the playing level that we can do a better job of executing, you know, on a play-by-play basis.
To me, that goes back a little bit to leadership, and you can get into a whole bunch of things off that, but who are the leaders in your locker room?
Every player that owns a jersey. I think each player is a shareholder on our team, and each player that comes to work with a good attitude, that works hard, that puts the teams first, and that pays attention to the details, provides leadership in their own way. It doesn't have to be a team speech. It doesn't have to be, they don't have to be a captain, but if they bring that kind of attitude and work ethic to the team, then that's positive leadership, and each one of us, you know, has, you know, a little slice of that pie and has a little role in it.
And the full interview you can hear on our 3-hour edition of Total Access on Location prior to that big ball game next Saturday night. It doesn't seem that the team needs to have any sort of refocusing there. Just like the rest of the year, seem to be on cruise control, Dion, in terms of the focus department.
They're on focus. This is a veteran football team. These guys aren't rookies. The only thing that could be the equalizer is old man winter. I've never seen a cheetah run in the snow, nor did I plan on seeing Randy Moss running in the snow also. Wes Welker can perform in any conditions, and his defense is good. They're veterans. But the only people that can beat them is themselves.
Well, he does a great job, Bill Belichick does, of keeping that team grounded and working hard every week in practice. Their routine hasn't changed much at all from the beginning, and they've got great veterans, Dion, like you said, that keep the routine very simple and very concentrated on the next opponent. They don't get wound up into the undefeated season or Super Bowl. They take them one at a time.
You know, it was just good to hear Bill Belichick speak, because in press conferences, he doesn't say much, and I can't wait to hear that interview, because the guy, you put him with the best in the league of coaches of all time. I just want to hear what he has to say.
And I want to see what happens next Saturday night. Thankfully, we'll be there. And you will be there through NFL Network. Next Saturday night, the New England Patriots take on the New York Giants on Saturday Night Football. Still waiting to see if Terrell Owens is going to come out of the locker room. He has yet to. Second half coming up.
Thank you for watching the Wendy's Halftime Show. Burgers always made to order, so they're hot and juicy. Wendy's, that's right.
Life is busy, but some people seem to get more done than others. Multitaskers. They found a way to do several things all at once. And when the Palm Central was designed, Sprint thought of these people. Then we gave it Sprint Speed. You can email, text, chat, go online so fast. People may wonder how many of you there really are.
Introducing the Palm Centro, only from Sprint, on the fastest national mobile broadband network.
Part of being a great player is having great vision. So when it came time for me to get a new TV, I got a Vizio. It's clear, it's crisp, it gives me all the details I'm used to seeing on the field. My Vizio makes me feel like I'm right in the game.
He caught him napping, and now it's nothing but open field. 40, what a block, 45 swing.
Better.
Get in the game with the new Vizio, America's #1 LCD HD TV company.
It's the most magical time of the year. Experience advanced performance and technology at Acura's Drive Home for the Holidays sales opportunity.
Take advantage of attractive lease rates on the 2008 Acura TL for well-qualified customers.
Stepping in front of the 20, to the 10, stop at the 1 yard line. The kick is good! Picked up! Holy mackerel! He just got it in the end zone! Touchdown! To the 10, it's a touchdown!
I'm John Fox, and you're watching the NFL Network.
Back in Carolina, where our halftime score in Charlotte is 17-7, Cowboys on top in what is a bit of a surprise because Dallas comes into this ball game averaging over 30 points a ball game. The Panthers have been offensively challenged all year. In 7 games, they've had 10 or fewer points, yet they're within 10 and a half.
Yeah, and let's face it, the Panthers don't have the horses to keep up with the Dallas Cowboys, but the horses are starting to balance out a little bit now. The Cowboys are losing some really significant players all the way across the board on offense and defense, and you just wonder if Carolina might now in this second half say, all right, T.O.'s out of the game. Let's see what happens if we bring a little pressure, because now we could probably match up with our corners a little better.
Well, unofficially, for what it's worth, we ran into Drew Rosenhaus in the hallway, and he said his guy is fine. Well, okay, fine. I'm not sure what fine means, but we'll find out in just a little bit. This is Ryan Robinson taking the second half kickoff. Robinson crossing the 40 up to the 44-yard line before Nick Folk makes the stop. And as Matt Moore comes onto the field, let's get an update on T.O. from Adam Schefter.
Thanks very much, Brian. The initial x-rays of T.O.'s left ankle were negative. He will have further examination tomorrow, possibly an MRI. One Cowboy official told me he thought it could be a high ankle sprain, but T.O. is finished for the night. The good news for the Cowboys, Terrence Newman is back on the field.
All right, Adam, thanks so very much. Newman is back on the field, and so is Ratliff right now. So things are looking up for the Cowboys.
Yeah, I know every time my ankle's fine, I go for an MRI.
And to get us started in the second half, Deshaun Foster right there. Okay, the numbers are not very good here for Carolina as they come out. I mean, the Cowboys, frankly, on opening drives of the second half, have been the worst in the league this year. Well, that's great for the Panthers, except for they've been the worst in the league on opening drives offensively. They've had no points on their opening drive of the second half.
Yeah, but right now Carolina is in great field position, and after that kickoff return, if you take advantage here and even get a field goal, all of a sudden you're in a ball game, and you're playing at home, and the crowd gets into it, and who knows?
Smith comes in motion. Moore with some time, completing this one to Smith. He goes down in the arms of Ken Hamlin and appear to be a first down, Carolina.
Yeah, probably the best protection all night, and they come out with a little play action and are able to work down the field to Steve Smith, and that has a way of jump-starting this offense sometimes. Steve Smith is one of those guys that is so emotional. He gets so excited out there on the football field. You get the ball in his hands, a little like T.O. on the other side of the ball, and everything just seems to uplift a little bit.
New set of downs to work with for Smith. This time is split to the high side, up left. Top of your screen. This one is for Smith. This will be way out of bounds.
Yeah, they didn't fool Anthony Henry on that one. They tried to go to the double move with Steve Smith. I don't know what he's saying back there to Henry, but essentially they tried to go to the hesitate and go on the run out by Henry, but Henry never saw it. He was looking in the backfield, got fooled momentarily, but a good job by Matt Moore. He saw it wasn't there rather than trying to take a chance and work it in there, just throw it out of bounds, and second down, take another shot.
Surprised they don't come this side and see how fit Newman is. Newman sat out a better part of the second quarter after going down with a foot injury. But they'll give it inside. This is Deshaun Foster, and he gets stood up right at the line of scrimmage. whole bunch of white jerseys there. The crowd didn't like the call.
Well, and the tough part for Carolina offensively is now the Cowboys were essentially in a shell coverage. They had only 7 guys on the line of scrimmage, an almost automatic rundown when you get that kind of look, and they still can't gain a foot. You know, that's not a good sign. That means you're getting beaten badly on the offensive line by that defensive line. And really, you take out Jordan Gross, and the Carolina offensive line's a little ordinary.
In part why Foster has the worst per carry average in the NFL, next to Warwick Dunn, for those backs who've carried 200 times or more. Moore with time again, completing a strike once again. Steve Smith, and another first down, Carolina.
Yeah, and this is a really good look by Matt Moore. There's people and bodies flying all around him. A lot of rookies in this situation start to get a little nervous. They start to think about running the football. But watch Matt Moore, eyes down the field all the way. He feels the pressure. He steps up, finds Steve Smith. That's the reason they got a little excited about what they saw a week ago out of Matt Moore.
Brian Stewart didn't like it. No, I was about to say he didn't care much for that. Moore on first down gives it inside. D'Angelo Williams to check back into the ball game. And again, I mean, we had talked about this a little bit earlier, but you remember back to the days when they had Stephen Davis and they'd power run the ball and they'd just force you and force their will upon you. Well, now they're still trying to do that power run game, but their personnel is more of a slash personnel.
Yeah, it really is, especially up front. And Stephen Davis was the last 1,000-yard rusher that they've had around here, and that's been many moons ago. And so now you basically have to force to be a little bit more quarterback friendly with your offense, but quarterbacks aren't so friendly when they're only playing 2 or 3 games in a row.
D'Angelo Williams trying it right up the gut, carrying a tackler for a gain of maybe 3 yards, but Matt Moore is going to be looking at a 3rd and 7.
And let me tell you why teams do that. And it's almost automatic in this league when you don't gain anything on first down. Because if you end up in a 3rd and 10 situation, it's an automatic blitz. They'll allow you to throw the hot read, make the tackle, get off the field. But if you can cut it down to about a 3rd and 6, now you have more options on the offensive side.
You're Carolina, what do you like here?
Steve Smith against Jock Reeves.
Smith is at the bottom of your screen. He's split wide right. Moore will roll in his direction. Moore for Smith. First down, Panthers. Smith breaking 1 tackle to the 8-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal, Carolina.
And there's some of that raw emotion that you see out of Steve Smith. He was covered on the initial look on the outside by Moore, but he stayed with Steve Smith. Instead of backing off, he just stayed right with him. He jumped back inside of Terrence Newman, and Terrence Newman is not feeling very good. He is a tough guy, and at the tail end of that play, he sort of backed off at just throwing his body in for the tackle. He literally sort of ran away from the play, and you do not ever see that out of Terrence Newman.
Pickup of 17 on 3rd and 7, 1st and goal, Carolina. This is D'Angelo Williams stiff-arming his way to the 2, inside the 2. Good run by Williams. 2nd-year player out of Memphis. Keith Davis finally drags him down.
Yeah, Keith Davis got close to a Roy Williams horsepower. He sure did at the tail end of that play. But again, some of the athleticism of D'Angelo Williams as he jumps to the outside and gets it right down. This has been a very, very impressive drive for Carolina. This is a team that really struggles coming out to start the second half, and Matt Moore just seems to have them settled in.
Just inside the 2-yard line, Carolina to a tight formation. D'Angelo Williams is the deep back. They'll fake it to Williams. We've got a whistle. Somebody jumped early.
Offense number 73, 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
That's Jeremy Bridges, a reserve guard out of Southern Miss.
Yeah, Jeremy Bridges on the right side just flinched, and this is a really expensive penalty, and then you've got an expensive
Justin
entry
Hartwig
on the outside of it, their center.
Justin Hartwig is down. We'll get a check of his condition when we come back.
At GMC, we've been breaking down barriers for over 100 years. to create the 2008 Sierra Denali, the most powerful half-ton V8 ever. And the 2008 Sierra Heavy Duty, the most powerful one-ton ever. Part of the most extensive line of pickups available. That's progress. That's professional grade.
Get NFL Mobile only from Sprint on the all-new Motorola Razr 2. Sharper than ever.
Hello.
You see Justin Hartwig making his way to the sideline there. What happened to him, Chris?
Well, basically, his own guy is going to get him on the outside. As Jordan Gross comes down, we saw Jeremy Bridges jump inside, and then it was Gross falling on Hartwig's leg, and I assume Ryan Khalil in the game now.
Rookie out of USC, rookie center. Moore will throw on 2nd and goal, and Moore will go down at the 13-yard line. Jay Ratliff was the first to get there. And Ratliff, one of those who was forced to the sidelines with an injury, obviously back in play.
Well, that's the first sack so far of his career for Matt Moore. He didn't get sacked at all against Seattle last week, and they're the top pass rushing team in the league. But Jay Ratliff really deserves some credit. Here's a guy that had to go in when Jason Ferguson was hurt on the first weekend of the season, and he simply has become their best defensive lineman at this point.
And they gave him a contract extension. What do you do when Ferguson comes back?
You play them both. You find a way to get them both on the field in some way, shape, or form.
3rd and goal. And after the first one, the second one comes right away. This one courtesy of Greg Ellis, who leads the team in that department. That gives him 12.5 on the year, and just like that, what it seems so promising, at 2nd and goal from the 1.5-yard line. The Panthers are now looking at what will be a field goal attempt from 38 yards, call it 37.
Yeah, and I know I'm not supposed to root for anything. Being a broadcaster, you're supposed to be impartial, but I was cheering for Greg Ellis to make the Pro Bowl this year. He came all the way back from that Achilles injury, had a shortened season, wasn't ready early in camp, and has just had a monster year for this football team. I thought he deserved to go to Hawaii.
And so the original Panther, John Kasay, gets this one through the uprights, brings the Panthers to within one score. It's 17-10 with 8 to play in the third.
Smile.
Merry Christmas to you. I hope that all
This holiday, don't just buy stuff, do stuff. Like make some memories. Choose one of 8 select video games free when you buy any PlayStation 2 console or get 20 to 50% off select RC toys. Go to Radio Shack for hot last-minute deals.
Oh, hey, Coach! Those guys just took off with all your cold, refreshing Coors Light. Who do they think they are?
They are who we thought they were.
They are who you thought they were? Well, who do you think they were?
They are who we thought they were.
Okay. Well, if you knew who they were, why didn't you stop them?
We let them off the hook.
Frost Brewed Coors Light, official beer sponsor of the NFL.
Coach, those guys that took your Coors Light, they went that way.
Those guys are toast.
What'd you get?
The jalapeno cheddar double melt from Wendy's. It's got jalapenos, bacon, and 2 kinds of cheese melted between 2 hot, juicy burgers.
Oh, yeah? This Air Supply burger is pretty outstanding.
Making love out of nothing at all.
Dressing up a boring burger is just wrong. Enjoying the flavor explosion of the jalapeno cheddar double melt from Wendy's?
That's right.
Order a medium or large combo and get a free download of the music you really want from Rhapsody.
Saturday Night Football on NFL Network is brought to you by Radio Shack, where this holiday you don't just buy stuff, you do stuff. Coors, brewed with Rocky Mountain water. Always Coors, the banquet beer.
With 8 minutes to play in the third quarter, the Panthers have closed to within 1 score of the Cowboys. There's a look at the scoring drive. You see they got it to the 2, but then a penalty and 2 sacks threw it in full reverse. They had to settle for the field goal. Our graphics department did a nice job there. Yes?
The yo-yo drive. They got all the way down and we're going the wrong way.
The key play was a completion to Steve Smith. We have a 17-10 ball game, and John Kasay kicks this one away. This is Miles Austin. Miles Austin coming this side, breaking 1 tackle. Miles Austin to the 40, pushed out of bounds to the 43-yard line. Tony Romo and the Cowboys will have good field position when we come back. They're leading 17-10 in Carolina.
LT and the boys are playing again tonight. There are no refs, just timekeepers. It's time for Campbell's Chunky. Hearty soups packed with beef, chicken, or sausage to feed an NFL-size hunger.
Hey, nice hit for a quarterback.
Campbell's Chunky. Meals that fill you up right.
Jets could have done a better job in the red zone today.
Get NFL mobile only from Sprint on the all-new Motorola Razr 2. Sharper than ever.
Hello, Moto.
Honey, I found the perfect tree.
Really? What makes it perfect?
It comes with a present.
This Christmas, how do you thank her for choosing you? With a beautiful gift of gold from Kay Jewelers. And you can be assured that Kay will have a spectacular assortment of gold jewelry. Only gold glows.
This the one, ma'am?
Yes. This is the one.
Every kiss begins with K.
The Simpsons movie on DVD.
How did the pig tracks get on the ceiling?
Spider Pig does whatever a Spider Pig does.
The Simpsons movie. Own it on DVD today.
The Cowboys offense is back on the field, and if the past is prologue, Tony Romo is going to enjoy this quarter. Take a look at that graphic. Now, how do you explain that? How do you explain a guy who has such troubles in the first quarter? Look at that. 5 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, and he just lights out in the third quarter. 12 touchdowns, no picks.
I would say that's good coaching, because a lot of times you don't know what you're going to get in the first quarter defensively. You're going to get some new looks, and sometimes that can be confusing for a young quarterback. But by the time they get it figured out, coming out at halftime, and good coaching would be my answer to that one. But this is the one that really has impressed me. Talking about guys who get the ball down the field, and this graphic basically is throws that are beyond 20 yards. Not a screen pass.
That's a throw that's beyond 20.
The big 3 this year, when you look at wins, are those 3 guys, and they work the ball down the field.
Chris Jenkins stopping Julius Jones. Appear to be short of the marker.
And one of the other
Cowboys looking at third down. I'm sorry. And coming off the field is Charles Johnson, grabbing his left thigh. Justin Hartwig, by the way, the Carolina center, was taken to the locker room on the cart. So Stanley McClover is checked into the ball game now at left defensive end. It's a war of attrition here tonight. This is Marion Barber. Marion Barber going to be stopped short of our yellow mark, which is unofficial. This would leave the Cowboys looking at a 4th down.
Well, Chris Jenkins with a monster play right there, splitting the double team, coming through and getting the penetration right there. They have a big double team coming right at it. He goes right through it, disrupts the play, and allows his teammates to come up and make the hit.
You like this call, going for it?
This one's tighter for me. Now you've got a 1-score game against a team you're clearly better than they are. And the only way Carolina's going to score on you is with a short field. I'm not so sure I do this. I might punt and let my defense play a little bit here.
Well, they're going to have a talk about it. Dallas 3 for 3 on 4th down tonight, but they need further discussion on this one. We'll take a break with them. It's 17-10. Dallas out in front.
Fred Flintstone, an employee of Slate Rock Gravel Company. His wife, Wilma, a stay-at-home mom. Yet on this working man's salary, how did Wilma afford a necklace made of huge rocks?
Mr. Slate pays well, but he doesn't pay that well.
An investigation would reveal that Fred had the Flintmobile insured with Geico, saving the couple untold amounts of money. Their friendship with the Rubbles would soon become strained.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Shakespeare said, "All the world's a stage, and we are merely players." Too true, Bill. Too true. I do like the stage, no denying that. But if you desire their attention, you better be ready for the critics. As for me, as for 85, I know one thing. I'm always ready for my close-up.
NFL Network presents Saturday Night Football, and it's your place to see New England in prime time. The Patriots invade the Big Apple to close out the regular season with the Giants in an interconference battle. The run to the playoffs is on. NFL Network, your home for football 24/7, all year long. Saturday Night Football, Patriots, Giants.
If you didn't watch NFL Game Day last Sunday, here's what you missed.
You should have won a long time ago. You in the NFL. You should have won the game. That suit says, I'm going to win this game.
Don't miss NFL Game Day, Sunday night at 11:30, only on NFL Network.
Following their first 3 and out of the evening, the Cowboys, after much discussion, have elected to punt. It's probably a better decision.
Yeah, no question about it. You just don't want to make it too easy on this Carolina offense.
Matt McBriar is on, and Ryan Robinson will let this one sail over his head and into the end zone. Carolina will bring it out to the 20 and see what they can get going. Meanwhile, Panthers are having problems with injuries on their own side. Charles Johnson has been taken to the locker room, and this one doesn't look good either. 17-10, we're back.
Going over and over? It's not just you. Stopping and starting? Going urgently? You're not alone. Lots of guys experience male urinary symptoms due to BPH, also known as an enlarged prostate. But for many guys, prescription Flomax may relieve urinary symptoms due to BPH in 1 week. And who doesn't want to spend less time in the bathroom? Only your doctor can tell if you have BPH, not prostate cancer. Common side effects of Flomax are runny nose, dizziness, and decrease in semen. Upon standing, a sudden drop in blood pressure may occur, rarely resulting in fainting. So when starting Flomax, avoid situations where injury could result. If considering cataract surgery, tell your eye surgeon you've taken Flomax. Do what millions of guys have already done. Ask your doctor about Flomax and call 877-4FLOMAX for a free 1-week trial. Why wait? Join the crowd. Flomax could make a difference in 1 week.
Eastern Promises.
How did you get in here?
There are always open doors. Own the mesmerizing power punch of a thriller. Nominated for 3 Golden Globes, including Best Actor and Best Picture. Eastern Promises. Own it December 23rd.
The I definitely don't hate it reaction.
Yes! Yes!
This Friday through Monday, all Craftsman power tools and hand tools are on sale. And save $100 on this Garmin GPS system, a low $199.99. Don't just give a gift, grant a wish. Sears.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
Charles Johnson, the rookie, started this ball game in place of Julius Peppers, who had a knee sprain. But now it's Johnson who's been taken to the locker room. We're not even going to speculate on what the injury is, but it did not look good as he was taken into the training quarters. First down for Moore, and the Panthers completes this one to Smith. I'm not sure he got both feet down there. It looked like his left foot was out of bounds as he caught it, but not for me to say. NFL Network has the 5 best NFL games each week, re-aired in an enhanced 90-minute program. Chris Collinsworth's favorite show is NFL Replay. Aired Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, only on NFL Network.
I do like it. You know, they sort of take the press conferences and the players and the coaches' comments and splice it in with the game action. So when something strange happens, they'll come back and show you what the players had to say about it after the game.
Pickup of 6. They'll give it inside. D'Angelo Williams sidestepping his way to what would seem a first down for the Panthers. The Panthers are just hanging around in this ball game. Remember, this is a team that has been offensively challenged all year long. They've, as we noted, 7 ball games, 10 points or fewer. Here at home, they're averaging just 14 points a ball game. Only San Francisco has been worse.
It's a perfect scenario. It really is. All you could hope for if you're John Fox is to hang around till the fourth quarter, see what happens then. They've managed to do it.
Williams again. Part of Carolina's problem is they've had to start 4 different quarterbacks this year, and never, since Delhomme went down, Jake Delhomme right there with the hood, since Delhomme with an elbow, they've never started the same guy more than 2 games in a row. Vitti has had the most starts. He's had 6. David Carr next to him has had 4 starts. Delhomme had 3, and this is the second for more. Very tough to build continuity at that point.
And Jake Delhomme was off to a great start. 111 quarterback rating, 8 touchdown passes, just 1 interception. Steve Smith was off to a smoking start, and then it just sort of crumbled beneath them as quarterback after quarterback went down.
Williams remains in the ballgame with Hoover the up back, and Moore tries to complete this one to Jeff King, who comes up pointing, but not getting much help from the officials.
And Keith Davis, who's filling in for Roy Williams tonight, able to make that play coming around. It was close, but there have been a couple of close ones here so far tonight, and not many pass interference calls. Let's see.
King is second on this team in receptions, and frankly, that too has been part of Carolina's problems. They've been unable to develop a second receiver. I know you want to talk about the 2 guys out of USC who you think have been a disappointment.
Well, not so good. And there goes another Cowboy, Brady James, as this war of attrition, as you called it, continues. It's going to be last man standing here in a little bit.
3rd and 6. Moore throwing this one behind Ryan Robinson. Terrence Newman on that coverage. It was Kevin Burnett who was pressuring Moore, and so the Panthers are going to have to punt.
Well, we've seen different philosophies here. Brian Stewart, the defensive coordinator for the Cowboys, when they get in 3rd down situations, he's been bringing pressure almost every time. On the opposite side, the Carolina Panthers have been sitting back in zones.
Jason Baker hoping to get off a better boot than he did last time with a 24-yard punt. This one's high, but not very far. We've got a flag. Takes a favorable Panther bounce. It'll come the rest at just about the 20-yard line. We'll keep it here and see what the flag is. It seemed to be an illegal man downfield. Let's see. Somebody might have left early.
Ineligible member of the kicking team downfield. 5-yard penalty.
Yeah, it's one of those, I think they would have declined it, but for the bounce that went so far, and they said, the heck with that, and didn't even want to tack it on at the end of the play. They're just going to make them repunt it.
And why wouldn't you? It wasn't a very good boot by Baker, who, as we noted, had a 24-yarder the last time. This one, he had plenty of height to it, but he's just not getting much distance.
Yeah, Wade Phillips, a guy, for my money, who's not getting the proper credit, really. Everybody's talking about Jason Garrett, and he's been a tremendous asset. But Wade Phillips comes in and, by his own admission, says, guys, I'm not flashy. I'm not going to yell and scream at you, a little like Tony Dungy. I just try to be myself. And it was sort of the perfect next guy in after Bill Parcells.
And he admitted he didn't think he'd get another chance. He thought his time had passed, that he wouldn't get another chance. Baker, meanwhile, gets off his best punt of the night. This is Patrick Crayton. And he'll go down at the 27-yard line. And so with 3:46 to play in the 3rd quarter and the Cowboys leading 17-10, we'll take a commercial break.
You actually got a pony.
Guess you got the Venus.
It's got a touchscreen.
Yeah. New chocolate?
4 gigs of music.
And they came with the Verizon network too, huh?
Does he bite?
Yeah.
The gifts they want are at Verizon Wireless. LG phones like the chocolate, just $79.99 in any color, or the 8350 for just $49.99. Verizon Wireless.
That is lovely.
Thank you. You went to Jared.
You went to Jared. Jared has 5 times the selection of ordinary jewelry stores.
Exquisite form. Wonderful line.
You went to Jared.
Jared, the Galleria of Jewelry.
Where it begins. Join the guys next weekend before Saturday Night Football. Total Access on Location presented by Sears on NFL Network.
'Twas the night before Christmas, and Mom didn't know that Dad's right behind her with a box and a bow.
A gift from Kay Jewelers means every diamond is hand-selected to match beautifully, and she'll absolutely love it.
Every kiss begins with Kay.
Saturday Night Football on NFL Network is brought to you by Verizon Wireless.
Help decide the NFL's next Super Bowl commercials. You can do so by voting on NFL.com Super Ad. You can also register there to win a trip to Super Bowl 42 in Phoenix. Cowboys take over at the 27-yard line. Marion Barber loses his footing as he gets back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a pickup of 1.
You know, there are only a few things anymore that startle me. We just did a little research on release time. Now, who would you say is the gold standard for release time?
John Elway?
Maybe
Dan Marino?
Elway, Dan Marino's who I would say. We checked Dan Marino's release time against Tony Romo's, and look at these numbers. Dan Marino was the lowest we found of any other quarterbacks, 0.3 seconds. And Tony Romo comes in at 0.26. You want an explanation for why this guy's been so successful. He gets that thing out of there quickly.
Let's get the 2nd and 10, then I got a question for you. Romo will throw back to Witten, and Witten is pushed back after a pickup of maybe 2-yard line. Adam Schefter is down by the locker rooms. He's got an update for us. Adam?
Well, thanks very much, Brian. T.O. is still in the locker room and has remained in the locker room. The Cowboys now say it is a high ankle sprain. He will undergo further examination, but T.O.'s agent, Drew Rosenhaus, told him a short time ago that he is a quick healer. The Cowboys are expected to have that bye week in the first round of the playoffs, so it's possible that T.O., if he misses some time, could be back for that opening playoff game with the high ankle sprain.
All right, Adam, thanks so very much. 3rd and 8 as we move inside 2.5 minutes to play in third period. Big down here for Romo and the Cowboys. He's got time again. In and out of the hands of Jason Witten.